Hi, good morning. Pay no attention to, what's behind me and what's in front of you. My hair's not done or whatever. I just woke up. But I wanted to respond to your video about lumps in the throat. Sorry, let me go ahead and turn that off. Lumps in the throat, honeymoon period, and liquids. Okay, so lumps in the throat, I had that too. I thought I was the only one. It's an annoyance, but I've never had anything major come about from it, and honestly, I never even talked to my doctor about it, so I'm interested in what your doctor said. I don't have advice on how to get rid of it or, like I said, what it is. I just attribute it to myself personally, that I hadn't got enough liquids in that day or the day prior or whatever, because your whole body takes your liquids, and everything is lubricated, we'll say, from your liquids. So it just made sense to me that that's what it was. But I am interested in what your doctor says. And then the honeymoon stage that you talk about, it is true that you do have a honeymoon stage. It varies for most people, or for most people, but usually the first 6 months are your rapid weight loss, and that's not saying at 6 months you're going to stop. It'll just you'll probably see, and I'm not saying 6 months on the dot, but you'll probably see where you have to work just a little bit harder. That may be where you start seeing real stalls or real plateaus, not just a couple days or a week or whatever where the scales don't move. But how my doctor explained it to me was that eventually your body will learn what happened to it. The whole reason that the surgery works is because, gastric bypass surgery is because they have restructured your stomach, your body, and where your stomach empties down lower into the intestines, that part of the intestines is not used to food coming in there, so it's not absorbing as much nutrients or fats or whatever. That's why we have to take the vitamins. That's why we have malabsorption. That's why we lose more weight rapidly than even lap banders. It's not just the portion restriction that helps us lose weight, but eventually that part of your intestines will start compensating and absorbing more. Your body will just learn to start doing what the upper part of your intestines used to do. At least that's how it's explained to me, and I may not be 100%, but that's how I understood it when it was explained to me. So you will have that rapid weight loss phase, usually, like I said, about 6 months, and then it'll taper off, and it'll be harder, or I don't want to say harder, you'll have to work harder, I guess, to lose the weight. That's why it's so important that you're not just watching what portions of what you eat. You're watching what you eat. You're developing those healthy habits. You're eating those lean proteins, those vegetables, restricting carbs, you're exercising, all that stuff, so that you are learning a new way of life, so that after those 6 months or after those 18 months or 2 years, after your body has adapted to what we've done to it, and it starts absorbing the food like it should, or like a normally stomached person does, that it's absorbing it from those healthier choices. I hope that makes sense. And then as far as getting your liquids in, I went back and looked at your stats. It looks like you just had surgery maybe about a month ago. Excuse me. And it is hard to get in the habit of getting all the protein that you're supposed to get in, all the liquids you're supposed to get in, and it'll take a while for that to start working for you, to where you actually feel like, okay, I'm in a routine. I'm getting my liquids in every day. I'm eating the foods I'm supposed to eat. I'm having those, 3 to 6 smaller meals a day, I'm getting all my protein in. What was helpful to me though, and I don't know your situation, if you work outside of the home or if you're a stay-at-home mom or, whatever it may be, but getting a routine. For the first, I think I was out of work for 3 weeks. It was very hard. But once I went back to work and I actually had that routine, it started becoming easier. I attributed it to work. It could have just been that that I was learning more. But anyways, so in the morning I would have my protein shake, and then I would do 20 ounces of water, a 20-ounce bottle. And then I would have something to eat, spacing it out like you're supposed to, of course. And then I would do another 20 ounces, well, no, actually, I would do a 5.8 ounce, I think it was, a thing of V8 juice, spicy V8 juice, because I loved it. Then I would have a snack. Then I would do another 20 ounces of water. Then I would have my lunch, and then I would do another 20 ounces of water. So I made my goal more obtainable because I broke it up in those 20 ounces here, 20 ounces here, 20 ounces there. So that was helpful to me instead of looking at these 64 plus ounces of fluid that I'm supposed to get in a day. So, and it seems so simple that when somebody suggested it to me, I was like, why didn't I think of that? So I wanted to suggest that to you if you hadn't thought about it already. It might help you start working your way toward your goals of getting your liquids in and your foods and stuff. So, and I don't want to go against what your doctor's saying. Eventually, I can see you eating a half a cup of food, but at a month out of surgery, it was hard for me to even eat a whole egg. So, take what your doctor's saying, listen to what they're saying, because, they are professionals, they went to school for this, but don't beat yourself up when you're not hitting it, as long as you're striving for it. And then eventually it'll come to you. I don't want you to push yourself to eat a half a cup of food and then be uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So hopefully I answered your questions, or I rambled on enough, so hopefully my ramblings were helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and good luck.